Hello to Andrew, who's the chair, and Lee, who is the vice chair of the IOSH Logistics and Retail Group. Thank you for joining us to provide valuable insight into the logistics and retail industry. This quick-fire interview is for those who are just starting out in their safety and health careers or who are looking to make a career change. Myself, Megan, and Adam, who are members of the IOSH Future Leaders Community Steering Group, will now ask you a few questions to provide that insight. So if I start with Andrew, with how can we get jobs without experience in health and safety roles?
What a great question. And I think the easiest answer is that it's sort of participation and taking part in things that IOSH does within our group. So we always say to anybody from Future Leaders, if you want to come take part in committee, if you want to come and see how that works, it's also a brilliant opportunity for network. So I think definitely take part in what we do. Also make sure that you are a member of a branch, because to get a start can be difficult, but it certainly makes it easier to do if you build up your connections and your network. Certainly, people I've spoken to who are coming in new into the business without a lot of experience, they've found the best way is to network within the groups, certainly network within IOSH, and I think Lee's good at this. Lee's got a good take on this, which he'll explain, is use the mentor system. Find mentors that are already in logistics and retail. Is that a thought, Lee? Is that a good plan?
Yeah. I mean, mentoring is a great way. I think if we take it back to the question, I'm sure it's a situation where certainly I found myself way back in the day when I wanted to get into health safety. It's a common conundrum, isn't it? A lot of us are wanting to break into the industry, but we're finding it very difficult. You find that you think that once you've got the qualification, that the doors start opening and you're able to walk into an industry. It's that conundrum, isn't it? It's how do you get a job without experience? How do you get experience without doing the job? And as we all know, the management regulations talks about health safety assistance, and it talks about knowledge, skills, experience. But it is difficult. How do you break into the industry? You'll find that you've got the qualifications, applying for jobs, but you're not getting anywhere because you don't have the experience. The employers say, well, yeah, you've got a great CV, you've got great qualification, but you just didn't have the experience. Well, how do you get the experience without doing the job? So, yeah, mentoring is a great way of doing it. You use the Irish mentor scheme, have a look on there. I'm on there, Andrew's on there, as are the rest of our group. So, yeah, mentoring, and I'd say getting involved in your workplace if you possibly can.
And I think also as well, Megan and Adam, the other thing to think about as well is if you can do it, once you start your networking relationship with the groups and with your mentor, if you can volunteer, then there are lots of the logistics businesses that will support that, so that you can learn that way, actually on the job. I know the company I work for does it, and I know lots of the others do. So that's a thought as well.
Yeah, another good point, Andrew. Volunteering, find out your local charities. They're often looking for help and advice. So yeah, I mean, I hooked up with a charity last year. They were very grateful. They weren't quite where they needed to be in terms of health, safety, and fire. So I hooked up with them. So yeah, if you can't get experience in your own roles or in your own workplaces, do seek out the charities. They are often on the lookout for volunteers.
Thanks so much for those answers. They're really helpful. The next question is, what are the career path options in the logistics and retail sector?
Well, you've got two people on this call, myself and Andrew. I work in retail, and Andrew works in logistics. So I'll take the retail part side of it. You can either work directly for a retail company, one of the many hundreds and thousands of retailers up and down the country. You can either work in-house for them, or the large supermarkets. I think the big five. So look at the supermarkets. They're often on the lookout for health and safety people. Certainly in retail, you can either work directly for the retailers themselves, or you job that I do, a similar job to what I do, is to look after. I work for a property management company who owns retail spaces. So we own large shopping centres, retail parks, etc. So I oversee health and safety across the retail portfolio for my company. So you can either work in-house for the retailer, one of the big supermarkets, or even go for one of the property management companies who specialise in retail.
And I think that if you look at our logistics and retail committee, we've got people across the board for that. So we absolutely recommend that if any of the future leaders want to find out more about career in retail and logistics, we've got the people to talk to. I think as far as logistics goes, there's kind of two sides to how health and safety is covered. There is what you might call a generalist approach, where you'll find health and safety managers who have to manage all of the different disciplines. There's many of you can think about, everything from the management regulations through to manual handling, and will find themselves sometimes involved in specialist subjects. They are, common's the wrong word, but they're the most predominant type of health and safety professional in the logistics field. They will do a lot of everything. If we need specialist advice, and if you want to become a specialist, then you very much can do, because there are logistics companies that specialise in transportation of chemicals. So if you want to become an expert in your field in the chemical industry, you definitely can. There are logistics companies that specialise in working airside or working for the airports, the ports, and people like that, which are very specific skilled in our field. If we're health and safety professionals, a lot of people start off in what you might call the truck side of it, but work their way into those specialisms, and that's excellent. But to trim that down, if you like, you've got a choice between being a generalist, which a lot of people are, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's brilliant. It's a very rewarding, exciting career. But then if you want to become a specialist, which lots of us do, after a time being a generalist, then within the logistics operation, especially now, electronics, robotics, you name it, and how we just our health and safety approach and our risk assessment approach to those things being in place, it's brilliant. It's so exciting.
Brilliant. So following on from Adam's question, where is the best place to start searching for career path options in the logistic and retail industry?
So, first things first, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but it's true. Make contact with your local branch, because your local branch will have people from the logistics arena and the retail arena that attend branch. Obviously get in touch with us in our committee. We can help. But then logistics and retail, we put a lot of effort into things like careers fairs, looking for graduates, looking for people who actually want to take up health and safety as a job. I attend careers fairs all year, looking for my next health and safety individual that's going to join the team and work their way up. So never be put off by or about going to careers fairs. The logistics industry and the retail industry use them all the time to look for people, look for talent, because it's our best way to engage with people. If we're talking to you face to face, we can tell, Lee and I can tell if you've got a passion for health and safety. If you've got it, we'll take it, we'll use it, and we'll help you to build a career.
I just add to that as well. I know it sounds a bit trite, but network. Yeah. Network with the branch, network with the group. You know, occasionally we're on the lookout for health safety people, and if we get an application from someone that we've either met at branch or we've met at committee or we've seen on a conference, you know, that often does just stick in our heads. So just network. You know, don't be shy about asking questions. Go to the groups, go to the branches, just said, look, I'm really keen to get in this area. If you have any openings or any voluntary or anything like that, please do bear me in mind. Just keep networking. On our page on LinkedIn, we've got around about 5,000 members. So, if you put a post on there, that's going to reach out to 5,000 members across the globe. But yeah, network. And it's probably also worth getting your CVs in with some recruitment companies, telling that they often ask you what specialisms you want to work in. So just, if you are keen on working in logistics and retail, you can register with the recruitment companies and tell them that that's the path that you want to go. But yeah, what I would say is network. I see some really good people networking on LinkedIn. There's a guy on there that started last year. He was wanting to break into health and safety. He was working in a sort of an allied role, and he just networked. He sent me a message. We had a chat. We had a phone call. Saying it's down to me, but I am pleased to say that guy's now working in health and safety, and he's on the path to chartered.
And I think the final thing to say on the subject, like Lee says, is never give up. We like to think we can help you in the logistics and retail committee and in the group as a whole. So make full use of the group. Keep in touch with us. And we'll always point you in the right direction if we can. That's what we're there for, is to help the people who are setting out to hopefully end up where they want to be. So just keep in touch.
Yeah, I mean, we've been there, Andrew, haven't we, as fledgling professionals? We weren't lucky enough to waltz straight out of university into a health and safety role. We've worked our way up, and we've been persistent, and we've been there. We know exactly what people are going through. It can be demoralising applying for jobs and not getting interviews, or getting interviews but not getting the role. But please don't give up. Please do be persistent, and without sounding like a broken record, network.
Both of you have alleviated quite a lot that we can do as sort of future leaders or new to the OSH profession in terms of volunteering and mentorship and getting in touch with your local branch. But what other activities can future leaders undertake to develop themselves ready for your industry?
I think, is that you, Lee? Sorry, I pinched your start there.
I'm happy for you to continue, Andrew.
I think for us, if you do decide that you've got a specialism, or you want to feature on something, make sure that's something that, if you want to go into logistics and retail, make sure it's something that we do. There's no point in you having a specialism in astrophysics, health and safety around astrophysics, because we won't be able to make use of it. You'll not, or if you're doing something that looks at physiological behaviour, or looks at how the skeleton works in terms of musculoskeletal diseases and things like that, absolutely. The logistics and the retail world, that's what we do for our day-to-day. So we are interested in that, and we want people who are doing that. So if you, at the start, decide you want to make a specialism, then it's about working out what you need to be able to understand, achieve, learn, and then get into the business. So if you decide on specialism, brilliant, tell us, we'll help you. We probably will know where you can get the best training. We might be able to direct you in the right direction for mentoring and for networking on that. If you want to be a generalist and you want to learn how to become, then we go back to what we said earlier on. It's the network thing, and then it is, okay, can I get a position as a health and safety assistant, as a health and safety advisor? Maybe right at the start of your career, the generalists tend to go that way. They don't, like Lee said, they don't walk straight in at a certain level, but that's good, because if they come in at that advisor level, they will then be exposed to lots of different activities in the logistics and retail world. They'll gain experience, they'll get better, their advice will be stronger, they will be giving solid, sound guidance to anybody in that organisation that asks. So that would be, depending on whether you want to be a specialist or a generalist or what you want to do, that'd be my route.
I'd say if you are working in industry and you're lucky enough to work in industry, make friends with the health and safety manager and the health safety advisor. That's exactly how I started. I worked in the NHS. I found that I got a real passion for health safety, so I did my qualifications, and I made friends with the health safety advisor. So things like shadowing the advisors and managers, work experience, assisting in developing risk assessments, safe systems of work, helping with policies, getting involved with training. If you are lucky enough to work in industry and there is a health safety manager advisor, introduce yourself, tell them this is the field that you want to go in, and make friends with them. I was really lucky that my health safety manager in the NHS sort of mentored me, and he got me involved in everything from risk assessments to safe systems training, got me involved in everything. And then lo and behold, when I started applying for jobs, then all of a sudden I was getting interviews because I then got the experience. When I didn't have the experience, I wasn't even getting interviews because I didn't have the experience. So yeah, if you've got a health safety advisor, or make friends with him or her. Just get involved with things, shadowing, work experience, secondments, assistant type roles, coaching, mentoring, and then, like Andrew says, if you want to specialise, then supplement your qualifications with a specialist qualification.
Brilliant. So our next question to you is, what do you do as an industry group committee member? Do you have many opportunities within this role?
What we do, we promote health and safety within our specialist areas. We exchange information with the members. We also have networking opportunities. So we have, pre-pandemic, we had a physical conference where we were able to network with members. We do that at minimal cost. I think it was about £50–60 for the day, so it wasn't massively expensive, but it enables you to network with other people. So we have networking opportunities. We have CPD opportunities. So you may or may not have been on one of our webinars over the last 12 months. We tend to do a webinar around about every month. We've had some really great speakers on there. So yeah, we provide network opportunities, and we also have CPD opportunities for our members.
We'll provide opportunity for people to grow as well. So, your growth by actually hosting the webinars, what you learn from the webinars, how you learn to interact, how you learn to plan and deliver your webinars is all excellent learning for if you've got to go and do presentations to 100 people in the workplace, or you've got to do one-on-one behavioural safety training. You learn such a lot from being a member of the group, and you've also got other opportunities. We're often asked for what the logistics and retail viewpoint is on things. Within your own work environment, it becomes recognised that you are a member of the group, and then people will say, well, what's IOSH's view? So you actually get to present our view as a body to logistics companies, to other businesses who will come back and ask what our view is from a health and safety perspective. And we're able, and you'll be able to say, well, I'm actually a member of the logistics and retail group, and this is our thinking on it. We've discussed it at committee, and this is where we're coming from, which is powerful, and you get to take part in that, and that gives you a really good feeling that you're giving something back.
And Andrew's right. Webinars. I'll freely admit that the first time I was asked to host a webinar, I was really nervous. You're looking at the numbers in the top corner, and you can see that there's like 500, 600 people on the webinar. You're hosting it, and you're thinking, crikey, if anything goes wrong, it's all down to me, and it's gonna look silly. But once you've done 1, 2, and 3, it just becomes second nature. So it does build confidence as well. But yeah, please, do get involved. Certainly, if you're not already, do join the group. And also, hook up with us on our LinkedIn page, IOSH Logistics and Retail on LinkedIn, and you'll find everything on there from webinars. You'll find the committee members. We'd see you face to face at the seminar.
And the final question from us today is, from a leadership perspective, how can students and future leaders interact with the IOSH Logistics and Retail Group to enhance their development? Lee, do you want to answer that one first?
Yeah, will do, Adam. Yeah, I think I probably already touched on this in the last answer, but network. And I know it does sound like a broken record, but there's no substitution for it. Network with the group, network with the members, join the IOSH mentoring scheme if you're not already. Put yourselves on there, and then they'll match you up with a mentor. They'll guide you through the process. So yeah, find a mentor, and perhaps through the group look at maybe doing some shadowing roles, or maybe doing a day on site with one of the managers, or I certainly wouldn't have an issue with somebody shadowing me on one of my audits on a day audit. So yeah, just network with the group, network with the members, and just do get involved.
Yeah, I think the main thing is keep networking. If you've got some ideas that you want to learn about or some subjects, then ask. We've got a really, really open group. We've got lots of people who are more than willing to share their experiences. And like Lee says, if you want to come and spend a day with us, then great. That's what we want to do. We want to find the next, chairs and vice chairs and committee members for our group, so that it keeps growing, keeps delivering, and keeps setting policy. So network, absolutely, as we've said all the way through, but don't be afraid to come and talk to us. Don't be afraid to join and ask it. If you want to be on the committee meetings, ask the local IOSH rep. We'll get you on.
Massive thank you to you both, Andrew and Lee. That was incredibly useful, and the information you provided, I'm sure, will help inspire the next OSH professionals and certainly the future leaders.
Welcome.